In the heart of the vast African savannas, where the winds whisper secrets through the acacia trees, I have come to know the Hadzabe people. I am not just any dog, I'm one of the new dogs of the Hadzabe, part of a small, but growing group, brought here to the tribe from distant lands. My story begins from the very first moment my paws touched the dry, cracked earth beneath the sun-drenched sky. I remember the first time I met the Hadzabe people. They were unlike anyone I had ever encountered. Their scent was deep with the smell of earth, fire, and wild game. They had a certain rhythm to their lives, an ancient way of moving through the world that I soon learned to follow. But I was different from the other dogs they had known. I was younger, with more energy, more curiosity, and an eagerness to prove myself. I had no name when I arrived, just a few rough growls and the sense that I was meant to be part of something larger than myself. The first time I saw them hunt, I was in awe. The Hadzabe are expert hunters, moving like shadows across the land, their eyes sharp and focused. The men, with their bows and arrows, would track animals for days, while the women and children would gather berries, roots, and herbs. I watched, fascinated, as they would set off on their hunts, often with me and the other dogs trailing, our paws light on the dusty earth. Though we were small in number, the Hadzabe welcomed us with an understanding that we, too, had a role in the wild. We were not pets in the traditional sense. No, we were partners in survival. Our noses were sharp, our senses attuned to the land just as much as the Hadzabe. When they went hunting, we helped them track the small, elusive animals like the guinea fowl, and even the occasional hare. Our keen sense of smell leaded, picking up scents that the humans couldn't detect. We would trot ahead, tails raised in excitement, and every time we found something, the men would smile, their faces lighting up with pride. But there was one dog, an older man, who had been with the Hadzabe longer than I had. Kitten was a silent dog, a watcher, and a teacher in his own way. He never hurried, never jumped at the person's side. Instead, he moved slowly, carefully, his paws making no sound on the earth. I learned a lot from Kitten, how to respect the land, how to trust my instincts, and how to understand the quiet way the Hadzabe lived. He often walked beside me on the hunts, his eyes always alert, always studying the land, his presence a calm reassurance. Over time, I began to understand the unique role I played in this tribe's life. The Hadzabe depended on the land for everything: food, shelter, and survival. And I, along with the other dogs, helped them by providing loyalty and assistance, tracking game and guarding their camp from predators. Every evening, as the sun sank low and the sky turned, over time, I began to understand the unique role I played in this tribe's life. The Hadzabe depended on the land for everything: food, shelter, and survival. And I, along with the other dogs, helped them by providing loyalty and assistance, tracking game and guarding their camp from predators. Every evening, as the sun sank low and the sky turned a deep orange, the camp would come alive with the crackling of the fire, the laughter of children, and the soft murmurs of the women preparing food. And there we would be, the dogs, lying around the fire, tired but satisfied from the day's work, each of us silently guarding the tribe in our own way. There was a day, though, that changed everything. It was a day like any other, with the sun beating down from above and the wind whispering through the tall grass. But the Hadzabe were not hunting this time. They were gathered around the fire, whispering in hushed tones. There were new faces in the camp, strangers who had arrived with strange scents. They were different from the Hadzabe, yet they seemed to understand the way of the bush. I could sense it immediately. They were the new dogs, like me, dogs from different lands, brought here to assist in a new way of life. These new dogs were larger, more muscular, with sleek coats and strong jaws. They had been raised differently, in cities far from the savannah, but they, too, had been trained to help the Hadzabe in their daily struggles. At first, we watched them warily, unsure of their place among us. But soon, we realized that they were here for the same reason we were, to serve the tribe, to help them thrive in the harsh environment. It was during the hunt the next day that I truly understood the importance of this change. The new dogs, with their size and strength, helped bring down a much larger animal, a kudu, with thick, powerful horns. While the Hadzabe men worked together, using their sharp arrows, the new dogs herded the animal, guiding it towards the waiting hunters. It was a perfect collaboration, the old ways of the Hadzabe and the new dogs from the cities merging into something greater than either could have achieved alone. As the sun set that evening, and we all sat around the fire, I realized that no matter how different the new dogs were, they were still part of the tribe now. We, the dogs of the Hadzabe, were united, partners in the hunt, guardians of the camp, and family in this vast, wild land. There was something sacred about this land, about the way the Hadzabe and their dogs lived together. It wasn't about where we came from or how we got here, it was about survival, respect, and the unspoken bond between us and the people we served. And so, as I lay down beside the fire, the smell of roasting meat in the air, I felt a deep sense of contentment. The Hadzabe had always known how to live with the land, and now, with us, the new dogs, they were stronger than ever. The bush was wild, unpredictable, and dangerous, but it was home. And I, like. A canine encounter in the Hadzabe Bush, the first meeting. The sun was just beginning to dip below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the savanna. The wind was warm, carrying the earthy scent of the land and the distant echoes of the Hadzabe tribe, as they prepared for another evening around the fire. My paws, soft and sure against the dry ground, moved quietly as I trotted alongside the Hadzabe hunters, my tail low and my senses alert. I had been with the tribe for some time, learning the rhythms of the land, and becoming a silent partner in their daily life. But today, there was something different in the air. I could sense it, an unfamiliar presence. My ears perked up as I picked up the scent of something new, something canine. It was distant at first, a strange, yet welcoming odor that stirred my curiosity. I had never met another dog like me here. In the Hadzabe tribe, we were more than just companions, we were helpers, partners in the hunt, and guardians of the camp. I had become accustomed to the smell of humans, the wild animals we tracked, and the fires that crackled at night, but this scent was new. I glanced up to see Kidu, the older dog of the tribe, walking beside me. Kidu was silent, steady in his ways, and I had learned a great deal from him. His ears twitched, picking up the same strange scent. He, too, was on alert, though his movements were calm and measured. We both knew something was about to happen, an introduction, a change in the familiar routine of our lives. As the day faded into night, the source of the scent became clearer. Through the brush, emerging from the shadows, I saw them, a small group of dogs, unfamiliar and with sleek coats unlike our scruffy fur. They were larger, their muscles rippling as they moved gracefully through the savanna. The faint glow of the campfire behind us reflected off their eyes, making them look like mysterious creatures from another world. They were not like the wild dogs of the savanna, nor were they like the native animals I had known. These dogs had been brought to the Hadzabe for a reason, though I wasn't sure of it yet. Their scent was different, tinged with the unfamiliar smells of cities and foreign lands. As they neared the tribe's camp, I could feel my own heart quicken. This was the moment. This was the first time I would meet other dogs in this place. Kidu stopped walking, his gaze fixed on the newcomers. His eyes held a calmness that I admired. I stood still beside him, unsure of what to do, my tail stiff. The new dogs approached slowly, as if sensing our wariness, their bodies poised and cautious. The leader of the new dogs, a tall, strong male with a glossy black coat, stepped forward first. His scent was rich and unfamiliar, and his eyes gleamed with intelligence and confidence. He studied me for a moment, then lowered his head slightly, as if acknowledging my presence. I mirrored his action, lowering my head in a sign of respect. The air between us was thick with uncertainty, but I could tell that we were both trying to understand the other. I took a cautious step closer, sniffing the air, testing his scent. There was no immediate threat, only the same curiosity that pulsed through my own veins. Slowly, as if a silent agreement had been made, the black-coated male took another step forward. From behind him came two smaller dogs, their coats dappled with shades of brown and white. One was playful, darting around with the kind of youthful energy I remembered from my own days as a pup. The other, a female, was more reserved, watching the interaction closely, her tail tucked low. I took a few steps forward, my nose twitching as I took in their scent more thoroughly. It was unlike anything I had encountered before, yet there was something familiar in it. They weren't so different from us, after all. They were simply new. Kitu, ever the teacher, began to move toward the new dogs with a slow, deliberate gait. I watched him carefully. He approached the black-coated male and, with a gentle growl, began to circle him. It wasn't an act of aggression, it was the way dogs communicate, testing each other's boundaries, seeing where the lines were drawn. The new dog remained still, allowing Kitu to circle him, his posture relaxed, but watchful. I followed Kitu's lead, stepping closer to the younger, playful dog. She immediately recognized my gesture and trotted over, wagging her tail in a way that spoke of curiosity and friendship. We sniffed each other's faces, taking in the unknown, then moved in a playful circle, our bodies dancing in a rhythm that only dogs understand. The female dog barked softly, and I responded with a low whine, the tension slowly lifting between us. It was then that I understood. These new dogs had come to share in the life of the Hadzabe, to help hunt, to guard, and to form a bond with the people. But just as the Hadzabe tribe and their ancient traditions were part of the land, so too were we, the dogs, part of that bond. We weren't just animals in the background. We were partners in the tribe's survival, each of us contributing our skills to the land we all shared. As the night deepened and the fire crackled, the new dogs joined the circle, sitting beside us as the Hadzabe chanted and sang their ancient songs. I lay down, my body resting on the cool ground, my new companions beside me. There was no need for words. In this wild land, where survival meant everything, we understood each other without the need for conversation. Our bond was primal, rooted in the earth beneath our paws and the stars above our heads. From that day on, the new dogs became a part of our family. We ran together on the hunts, our paws swift and sure, following the old paths laid out by the Hadzabe. We watched over the camp, keeping the children safe from the dangers of the night. And together, we learned that even in the wildest places, even among the most ancient of tribes, the
Pando bata angoko fo ba ayat ena ayat ta isho pite ko kutulo bachana teko ko pande tata zabe pakaibe kwa kuchiki kosa yamu abe yoba pakama isho zama bata ko pando bata to ngoko fo ba ena ubi pia zabia manota pakai pekete ota aso ubi azabi Chiquiko. No be aya Chiquiko.
Mama ya gabawa.
Equibina.
Also Hadzabe.
Laka o Otani anakwe Anna. Mushona kwa tita za muwani anakwe Anna. Shukuru ote. Man abuta kaku musepa wadogo. Zata kwa pea zabe akabuta wakaka akanawa wakoka kanawa. Wasimu wachia amakan iban aba man eba oko oba usepa ono hazane akanabe kwa are amai ka tego ni ana
My God.
akuwa katete ni wala ni kwa apibi na kala chi ono ya sana na chu inda sha na ngakere retsi ene na duku oko na nyo ona kakata iyo